When asked if there were any concerns about a first-year quarterback and with it being his first time with this team in the playoffs, his response, just look at our last 2 weeks when they beat a very good Veterans Memorial team and hoisted the boot for the first time in 3 years. Now, this team right here, excited. The tropical storm Beryl has certainly touched down here at the Bayfront Peninsula here in Port Lavaca. If you want to know how strong these winds are, we're standing directly under a pavilion in the middle of it, and the rains are blowing sideways. Absolutely, and all that hard work, trust, and faith paid off. The first Hallettsville Brahma to be drafted to the NFL. He's going to the Carolina Panthers. The scoreboard shows 41-13, and it'll tell you that Edna just got drugged through the mud and that they had no chance. But when we got here right before the end of the half, leaving the referral game, we saw Edna was inside the 5, inside the 10 on multiple occasions. Lots of anticipation for what Beryl could bring to the Crossroads. It is currently a tropical storm with the fear that it could become a hurricane by the time it touches land. The 6th annual Tapper Scrap promises to deliver some of South Texas's best knockouts, but you've been warned what goes on inside of this octagon is not pretty. And if you're an Astros fan, you're probably ready to pop the champagne. Well, as close as these games have been, don't think that just yet. The Astros certainly aren't thinking that. Earlier this week, you guys lost a teammate, a friend, a classmate. Just talk about your program and the character of your guys to come out here and win a playoff game given the circumstances. Well, head coach David Lucio knows his guys are going to have to show up and show out. And speaking of showing up and showing out, how about a round of applause for these fans who have made the trip all the way from El Maton, Texas. If Tidehaven wants to be the best, they're going to have to beat the best. They feel like they're up for the challenge. Kickoff in about 25 minutes. Reporting live from AT&T Stadium, Zach Brown, KVUTV 25 News Now Sports. This boot is heavy, certainly not made for walking, but it does hold a lot of bragging rights. Victoria West has won it 3 years in a row. If Victoria East wins this boot, you guys get a home playoff game.
Yes, sir.
Lots of things on the line tonight. Reporting from Memorial Stadium, Zach Brown, KVUTV 25 News Now Sports. Football season just under 2 months out, but that doesn't mean we don't have big news. Out of El Campo, 3-star athlete Oliver Miles has announced he will be attending Texas Tech University. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I miss 100% of the shots you do take. I get to play cowboy for a day. Thanks to Gino for these beautiful cowboy boots. Here is my little friend, Bo, who is 19 years old. He's also brought some friends.
You have flexible as a 2x4.
For 27 years, Frank Parker has been Calhoun's head athletic trainer. But last year, he noticed changes in his body and quickly knew something wasn't right. That's when he was diagnosed with stage 1 pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer, you don't hear about it till like stage 3, stage 4, and stage 5. Well, I was lucky enough that it was in the front of my pancreas and it was a stage 1. And I was lucky enough that I got a little bit of medical knowledge, and it was like my body was doing some weird things, and I kind of caught it and didn't wait around too long, just went and did it. The surgeon who did my procedure, and he goes, "This is easy. You're stage 1. It's where it is. Location-wise, great."
But this season would be anything but easy for him. Rounds of chemotherapy zapped his energy and life out of him, causing him to miss games throughout the year. Heartbreaking to the staff, who says it was a tough blow for someone who does so much.
He was probably the last one who ever deserved it because he's done so much for this community. So when I heard the news, it was devastating, to be honest, but he shouldn't have been like the last person to ever have it.
Deemers drew inspiration from Frank. He's always there for Pink Out shirts where they have raised tens of thousands of dollars over the years. She knew it was only right that he get the same support with purple shirts, the color associated with pancreatic cancer.
And I knew that he was someone who would do it whether the roles were reversed. So, and I took the Pink Out inspiration and I turned it into the Parker shirts. They ended up being the Parker shirts, and I remember specifically he had told me at the beginning of this, he said, "There's no way you're ever going to sell 100 shirts." And I said, "All right." And well, we ended up selling over 500 shirts for him.
I didn't think I had 500 friends that would buy t-shirts, so I mean, it's been very humbling on that aspect of it.
Not only were the shirts a success, but back in mid-October, thanks to them catching his cancer early, Frank Parker was able to ring the bell to officially say goodbye to his chemo treatment. He did so with the same smile he has on his face every single day. Now, there's no questioning how important he is to this entire city.
He is a special figure in our community. a big part of our athletic program. I mean, coaches cannot go without Frank Parker.
November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, and Frank Parker just wants to share his story in hopes that it helps others, something he has done for Calhoun Athletics for 27 years. Zach Brown, KVUTV 25, News Now Sports. Well, what a day for the Reeve brothers. Head coach Travis Reeve over at El Campo. Now here in Victoria, head coach Charlie Reeve and his Victoria East Titans set to host Medina Valley after a season that saw them finish in second place in a very tough district. And what a season it was. That no longer matters. Now they turn the page.
It's a new season, and records don't matter. Everybody's 0-0 right now, and from this point on, we're fighting to stay together.
Not many people could have seen this season coming for the East Titans, who have shattered all expectations after what many thought would be a rebuilding year. But everyone quickly bought in, playing for something much larger than themselves.
We're like a real family. We play for each other. And that's a big thing about football, is the little things like that. And when you're playing for somebody, you're gonna go out and you're gonna perform. We all believed it right off the start. Right when the season started, we all believed in stuff like this is gonna happen. And when you believe in it and really believe in it, and not just talk the talk, it's gonna happen.
And we didn't let somebody else write our own story.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, and that story ain't done yet. Yes, sir. Okay? Hey, our goal was to play our best football in November, and that's what we're doing right now. Yes, sir. Hey, we ain't done. No, we ain't done.
That belief has the Titans playing some of their best football at the right time, which was the goal the entire time. Now they hope to give the folks in the stands something that'll last in their minds for years.
I mean, it's huge for us and huge for the community to be able to play in front of our home crowd and families, and so hasn't been done around here in a long time, and so it's special to be able to host a playoff game.
When asked if there were any concerns about a first-year quarterback and with it being his first time with this team in the playoffs, his response, just look at our last 2 weeks when they beat a very good Veterans Memorial team and hoisted the boot for the first time in 3 years. Now, this team right here, excited. They're hosting a by-district playoff game at home. Reporting live from Memorial Stadium, Zach Brown, KVUTV 25, News Now Sports. The Ganado Indians are still gold ball hunting after a thrilling upset over the Refugio Bobcats. They were heavy underdogs in that game, and they won't be favored against Timpson either, but not many teams are left standing. The Indians feel like they have as good a shot as any.
There's 4 teams left. All 4 teams are really, really good. From here on out, you got to play really good football to keep advancing. You got to execute well during the game. And so, I mean, we're not putting much stock into it. I know, listening to some of the assistant coaches, that, yeah, we're not giving a very good shot outside of the area, but it is what it is. We just got to go play and go execute.
The young Indian squad grew a lot as a team on the field and mentally, something quarterback Bryce Ullman says is a reason why they are still here.
This past game that we had, it wasn't no belief anymore. Our expectation was to win, and I mean, we went out and dominated.
The Indians call this the Haters Tour. This is for all those who may have written them off, but Ganado didn't write back.
A lot of people didn't have us. I don't even think people had us coming out of our district this year, or some people didn't, and at least making it to the state semis. But we proved a lot of them wrong, and we're going to keep it going.
Irving is the head coach, but he gives credit to the entire program for buying in and seeing the vision of what could be.
For the rest of y'all's lives, I hope that y'all know when you put your mind to whatever you want to do, no matter what anybody tells you, and you work together as a team, anything's possible, you feel me?
I think it speaks to the assistant coaches that we have, and then the leadership on the team that we have. The players have bought into what we're selling. They're playing really, really good football right now, and the results are showing. And so it's exciting to see.
We do our job every play, we're going to win. It's that simple. And it's not a belief. You got to expect to win. You got to know you're going to do it.
No question about what Ganado is capable of now. The only question mark, just how far will they go? The boys are ready to continue their already impressive run.
All of us are hyped, and we're ready to go. And we already had a shot at number 2. Now we got a shot at number 1. So we're ready for the challenge, and I feel like it's going to be a great game.
The Bloomington Bobcats won a district game for the first time in almost a decade, defeating Kennedy 44-30. Now everyone can excel a bit.
It's a funny thing. Nobody likes to focus on it when it's still happening. Now, when that sucker's over, everybody's excited as can be. For us to be able to, talk to the kids about where we're going to go and paint a picture of it. But a lot of times they really didn't know what that was going to look like yet.
The picture becoming more clear to the team and community now more than ever, as they now control their own destiny to making the playoffs after being looked down upon for so long.
Everything we've been working for, it all worked out. Before they'd just be like, oh, Bloomington's gonna lose again, but now like they have hope in us, they have faith in us. They've been really helping out with stuff too, like events and stuff.
I always hear about people talking about down on Bloomington like in the previous years, like my freshman and sophomore year. There's nothing I could do about it because I was an underclassman and I didn't get much playing time. But now since junior and senior year, I get so much more playing time and I'm actually having impacts on every game. So like I just see like people not thinking that we're the laughing stock of the state, and now we're actually like the big talk in other towns, talking about how Bloomington got good and stuff like that.
Hey, hold on, check, we spent 19.
Earlier this year, the Bobcats talked about investment in terms of effort from his team and wanting to get the community more involved. They've gotten a lot of that this year. Now they want to build something that lasts for years to come.
People won't quit if they have to invest a whole lot. And it's not necessarily like talking about quit the program. They won't quit a play, You get blocked, you won't stay blocked. You get knocked down, you won't stay knocked down. You miss a tackle, you won't sit there and pout.
I practice so hard every day because like we have little kids that come out here, like our water boys and stuff like that. They see how hard we're working, so they know that you can win here at Bloomington, and it's not the same Bloomington from the past. And I feel like we've changed that culture a lot, like in the past 2 years, for sure.
Runners, take your mark. Set. Go.
Refugio is known for its blazing speed, and now you can name our Athlete of the Week, Aiden Scott, to that list. The 8-year-old has only been running for a total of 8 weeks. He now qualifies for the Junior Olympics. He gained that inspiration by watching the state champion Bobcats simply out of boredom before coaches let him join practices.
I saw the high schoolers out here running, so I asked the coach if I can start running with them, and I started coming up with I want to start my own track.
He's just got something that is really a gift. And so what better way to keep a kid busy, especially during the summer when there's no school going on, than, hey, put him out on the track for a little while, let him run.
He moves well on the track. He moves a lot more off of it. He lives in a military family with his mother currently stationed overseas, prompting his move from El Paso to Refugio. Through it all, he is still a happy kid working out with his friend Annie nearly every day. Not typical of an 8-year-old kid, but here's why.
The good thing about my grandparents is that they don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox. We're outside.
We don't have electronic babysitters in our house. We get them outside. We do things with them, and that's where this really led to. That's the root cause. He was bored one day, decided he wanted to go watch some kids run, and ended up on the track with them.
His grandmother was also a track star herself, part of the 1985 through 1987 teams. Aiden is hoping to mimic her success. His grandfather jokes, maybe track just runs in the family genes, and says Aiden cares more about hitting PRs than qualifying for the Junior Olympics. He is obsessed with getting better.
I push myself to get better and at the 400 and the 200, and I do strength to get my legs stronger, and I push myself harder to get stronger and better.
It's handshakes, high fives all around. Talk about your team's performance today. Yeah, Coach, I was going to ask you, last time you played London, you guys beat them by 3, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago. Today, your defense only gave up 3.
Right.
It was impressive to watch your quarterback. Yeah, he's got the arm, he's got the strong arms, got a lot of finesse touch. Talk about your line, though. We talk about how huge they are. He got under center and just really drove his way through the defensive line of London. Coach, last question before you go. First district win, now you got your first district away game next week against Palacios. How are you guys planning on preparing for that team?